What up, crew? We going camping. So I want to do a video of me basically getting my car ready to go camping and to show you guys how clean I got it, and then the aftermath of when I come back from camping and see how nasty it gets, and then the cleanup afterwards. So let's get right to it. So there you have it. Nice clean car, right? So now we're gonna get right to it and go to camping. And when I get back camping, we're gonna show you the aftermath of what we got and what we're gonna be cleaning up. So here we are camping. Between kids, dogs, and the wife, this thing has been the outside's holding up. Not too bad. A lot of stuff going on here with the hood. We got all kinds of tree sap and stuff falling down on her, but she still looks damn good. Camping. Here's the site. And we'll see when we get home. Alright guys, so I'm back from camping and it's hot today. It's like 104 degrees outside today, but I'm going to show you guys what the camping trip did to the Mercedes and how we're going to clean it up and go through the process of me getting it clean. It really isn't that bad. I thought it was going to get a lot worse, but I pretty much trained my kids and wife to keep the vehicle clean over time. It took me a while, but I got them to understand that I like to keep a car clean and everything. So okay guys, so I'm going to walk you through the steps on how I clean any car. This is just not exceptionally towards mine, but this is for any vehicle I detail. And this is the way I do the process and how I go about things. So first off, I am starting with the wheels. I usually do the wheel wells and go from the wheel wells to the actual face of the rims and then to the tires last. In this case, I'm not going too crazy because I already did the initial detailing of the vehicle. So this is almost like, I guess you can say, a maintenance watch in a way, but I am going through the steps of a full detail and showing you how I do full details, from wheels to door jams to exterior, interior, windows, the whole nine. This, on my car, it's not too bad right now and it's going pretty quick, but if it was a customer's vehicle where it needed extensive dirt cleaning and shampooing and stuff like that, it would take a lot longer. This video is sped up, obviously, as you can tell, so you can see the process at a quicker rate. And this is just showing you how I just go through and do not only full details but maintenance details as well. So you tell I take my time with the actual rim face, especially on my rims, because they have the little individual holes on there, so I have to sit there and really take my time. But a little footnote is, before I always put my washcloth back in, my microfiber washcloth back in the bucket, I hose it off for a couple reasons. One would be the actual dirt embedded in the microfiber from cleaning the rim can stay in there, and when you go to use it again, it can scratch the face of the rim, the next rim you do. So you always want to make sure if it's a wash mitt or a wash towel like I use, you want to make sure that it is thoroughly power washed before putting back in your wheel bucket. This just helps with scratching and marring and such to the face of the rim, especially if they're painted rims like mine you see here. So right now I'm doing the actual gas door. This has always been a pet peeve of mine. I make sure that the gas door is definitely always done. So just to run down kind of how I do it, I start with the wheels, I go to the door jams, then work to the other side of the vehicle, start with the wheels, do the gas door, the door jams, and then final kind of thing is I will go around the whole bottom half, which you'll see shortly, of the vehicle, and do the bumpers and side skirts and such. And this is just so I don't have to go down there with my clean wash mitt when I go to do the exterior painted surfaces that low and possibly bring dirt back up and scratch the paint in the process. So when you want to do wheels, jams, tires, and gas door components and such like that, you want to use your wheel bucket and your wheel rag or sponge for those kind of things, and it kind of separates everything and keeps everything nice and neat and clean, and so you're not using all kinds of I guess you could say dirty tools with the actual exterior wash. So basically here we are, just doing the same as the other side, just doing the jams. And a note on the jams are, you kind of want to spray quickly and away from the interior when doing the jams of any vehicle. It's just one of those things where if you get it on the inside of the vehicle, if it's a hot day, no biggie, it's going to dry up real quick, especially down here in Tennessee where I live. It'll dry up extremely quick. But if you're in a colder climate and you get it in the interior, or a large amount in the interior, and you have an extractor on board, I would definitely recommend extracting wherever you sprayed, just because you can build up a mildew / mold environment for the water to sit in. Definitely something you don't want to do, put it that way, in layman's terms. Just don't spray any water into the interior. It just makes for a bad day for you to clean up and for you to have to take care of for the customer. Not a good thing. I can see my wife is running through the back there. So yeah, just want to pretty much make a note of that. Just when spraying jams, just spray away from the interior and try not to get any water in the interior. So right now I'm just showing you, like I said before, the actual side skirts and such like that. Just going through that. And now I'm moving on to the exterior. And what I do generally now is I spray the whole entire vehicle down and try to loosen up as much dirt and debris and kind of just get it ready for the actual car, the foaming process, as you would say, to loosen up the rest of the debris. But this is a crucial step. This is kind of good for blasting off anything heavy, maybe some bugs that are on the front end or such like that. You want to blast off so they don't get caught up in your wash mitt, rag, whatever you have. You want to keep anything that's going to scratch or mar paint out of the equation. So now here I am. I'm going to start foaming the vehicle. I usually foam dilute pretty much, if I can remember correctly, with the product I use, I believe it's 4-to-1. So 4 ounces of product to 1 part of water, which is filling up the rest of it. So during the foam process, in this situation, I'm not going to let it pretty much sit. I'm going to go ahead and start washing immediately, just because I know the vehicle isn't extremely dirty. Now, if it was extremely dirty, what I would do is basically throw the foam onto the vehicle, let it sit and break up a lot of that debris and let it fall off the vehicle, which the foam is designed for. And then what I would do after that is spray it with just water and bring it back down to its normal state, and then I would foam it once again, then agitate it with my wash rag / mitt and bring as much luster and shine out without the scratching and marring of the paint. But in this case, there's 2 things going on. My car really doesn't have great paint, and also too, I went through and did a major detail before leaving to go camping. So in this case, it's just throw the foam on, wash it off, be done with it. Also too, it was hot out, extremely hot out. So I am struggling through this video. I might not look like it, but I am definitely struggling through this video right now due to the heat and me just trying to get this done before the paint would dry almost immediately. So I was kind of in a rush as well. But in this case, we're on to washing off the actual foam now. All the agitation is done, and we are moving on to the drying stage. But usually when you want to wash it off, wash all the foam and everything off, you want to take your time, get all the crevices, get everything that you can see off the paint, because when drying you don't want to drag anything, because then there's no lubricity and you can definitely do some serious damage at that point during the drying stage. So it's hard to tell which stage would cause the most scratching / marring. I mean, it's kind of a situation where you just want to make sure that you don't have any dirt in either stage to harm the customer's paint. So right now I'm spraying on a product called Tech 582, which I did a review on and unboxing. This product has been great to me. I've been using it for every detail. I'm gonna have to probably re-up soon, but you can catch that video in my playlist and see. Well, I could probably link it in the description as well, and see how the Tech 582 actually works. But the way I apply it, and I found the easiest way to apply it, is through the drying stage. And what I do is I spray it on my drying towels. One towel I'll use for the majority of the actual water, and the other towel will kind of be like the applying of the ceramic. So I'm taking it off with one towel and then applying ceramic detail spray as I dry as well, which speeds up the process and still gives off the same results as if you would spray directly on the paint. There's really no difference, and it gives a nice glossy feel when the drying stage is all finished. So, but in most cases you can apply the Tech 582 right to the surface, or apply it to a wet surface as well, either or. It's really a friendly product and works great. Alright, so moving on to the interior, I am starting with the trunk. Now, personal preference, I start with the rear of the vehicle and I work my way up front. A lot of people dispute that and say, oh, start with the front up by the steering wheel and work your way over and all the way to the back, which is fine too, however you want to do it. But in this case, I find starting with the rear, the trunk area, and working my way to the front is the most effective for me and brings the best results. So as you can see right there, the trunk was all finished. Now we're moving on to the rear passenger side, and this is how I would do a maintenance detailing. This is just keeping up with what has already been done. So you would just, if anything, would add a shampooing or drill brush agitation in between the vacuuming. So you would do a preliminary vacuuming, then you would do the drill brush agitation, which is also known as shampooing the carpets, and then you would do a final vacuuming after all that. So that's basically how I go about doing a full detail as well. So now we're moving into the front area. I just kind of lightly just get all the areas around the center console, kind of do just what's already been done, just kind of going over it again and keeping it nice and fresh. In this case, it's not a lot of work, but if it was, like I said earlier in the video, if it was a vehicle that needed a lot of attention, oh, you're talking a lot more process, a lot more attention to detail, and getting in there and really taking your time and making sure that the customer's satisfied when done. Any transformation, from what I always saw, is always a great one because the customer is just so appreciative of what you've done, and it's something they never saw their vehicle that nice probably since the day they bought it. So that's another reason why I do this business, is just seeing the pure satisfaction of the customer when it's all finished, and how they enjoy the cleanliness of the car and give me good reviews and such. So here we are, just pretty much finishing up the vacuuming. The next step after this would be just wiping down all the actual hard surfaces. And when I say that, I just kind of go through with a dry microfiber towel to get all the heavy stuff first, and then work my way in with like an all-purpose cleaner / steamer if needed, if it's heavy agitation. But in this case, we are just going to go ahead and just spray some all-purpose cleaner onto a microfiber towel and just wipe down any kind of dirt or debris and just keep it up and keep it nice. Like I said, this is a maintenance kind of detail process how I go through. Now, if it was where the customer's car was extremely dirty, I would hit it with a couple of things. One would be my go-to is my steamer. Now, the steamer does tremendous amount of work, and it acts as almost an air compressor. People argue with you, oh, you need an air compressor to blow out stuff. Yes, the air compressor does help, but if you're doing this mobile, it's hard to drag around an air compressor. So I kind of do a 2-in-1 with my steamer, because the steamer has so much pressure. If you apply it close to something on the ground, I don't recommend applying the steam close on like a hard surface, but if you apply steam close to the ground, like on carpet and stuff, it can blow out material that your vacuum won't suck up. So it's a nice little footnote. If you're interested in getting a steamer, it's definitely a tool that's needed tremendously when detailing. The final results from a steamer is just uncomparable to if you were to just use APC and a brush. APC and a brush and microfiber towel is effective, but a steamer brings out the interior almost to a new-like state and really makes it look beautiful in the end. But alright, so we're just going ahead and finishing up the front here, real quick detailing, nothing crazy. Moving on to the back, cleaning up the back seats and door panels, which I was surprised to find that my children did not totally destroy on me. It was kind of a surprise to me and a surprise to my wife that for once, and it goes to show that all this training that I've been telling my kids, don't do this, don't do that, clap your feet before you get in the vehicle, it's paying off, because I really in this video didn't do a ton of cleanup. It was just this wipe downs, some dog hair from my dogs, such like that. But for the most part, I was pretty impressed. I was happy to find out that my kids are listening and doing what Dad tells them to do. Just keeping that interior clean, and especially on my older Mercedes, it's hard to find the parts for these vehicles. So I told them all the time, please treat it right, because it's not easy to replace anything on these cars. But enough of that. Moving back onto just wiping stuff down. I always get the outside of the door panel or door card, however you want to say it, because it's just one of those things. You gotta make sure you get all the corners and areas that a customer would see. So here I am using I think it's called Stoner Streak Free Auto Glass. It's one of the invisible glass, that's what it's called, invisible glass. It's one of the better window cleaners I used, and I that's my go-to when I go to detailing windows. In this case, there wasn't a lot of smudges, but if I really wanted to get a lot of smudges / dirt off the window, I would use 2 microfiber towels, one to apply the actual streak-free product, and then after that, one to dry the streak-free product, and that usually is done in a cross-hatch pattern and brings out the best results. No streaks, no nothing. Usually crystal clear glass, which I do a lot of times, is the cross-hatch pattern to achieve that crystal clear glass. So you can see finishing up the front there. Now moving on to the inside. Now this is a particular area where you want to pay attention to when detailing a customer's car. This is the area where they really see the most streaking. So if you can cut down on streaking on this part of the vehicle, which would probably be your best bet to really pay attention with. Now, like I said, there wasn't a lot to do with mine, so I only use one towel, but this would be definitely a good spot to do a 2-towel method, where I said you apply the actual product and then wipe it off with a dry towel, especially on the driver's side. But I usually do half and half. I start with the passenger side and do that area, and then I move over to the driver's side and do that area. And that brings out pretty much the best results. Here's a big thing, doing trim. A lot of detailers do not actually treat trim. It's a kind of a dying art, but you got to really bring out the resilience of the trim, because that makes the exterior pop so much more. It makes it look beautiful in the end result. So I'm just applying some tire enhancer on a microfiber pad. The tire enhancer is from Meguiar's, and I don't use it for the tires, I only use it for trim, and it lasts the longest and brings out the best shine. I know they have different products for trim, but like I said, this is my go-to for doing trim. I really don't use any other product but it, which is basically what I'm using right now. My trim tends to dry out quick because of the age. As you can tell, as I'm hitting the front bumper here, you can tell how nice and shiny it is after I'm done. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I neglect my car a little bit. Being a detailer, you really don't do your own stuff unless you really have to. So it's basically a quick wash and be done with it, and make sure it looks good when I roll up to the customer's house. But here it is, all finished, looking beautiful as always. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy the content I'm putting out. I really enjoy doing this in between me doing my actual detailing business. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and that bell, and look forward to new videos coming out every week. And I say every week, I try every week, guys. I mean, with the detailing business picking up because it's summertime, it's a little bit harder, but I'm really trying like hell to get out a video each week on content I think you guys would definitely gain value over. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next video. Thanks, guys, and peace.